You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid. Hey, Bronny boy.
Hi.
How are you?
I always.
People still are stupid.
Well, you always.
I know, that's why I paused purposely.
Yeah. Why? You don't think people are as stupid anymore?
No, people are dumber than dumb. How you doing?
Good. This coffee without. It's
It
cold
doesn't look
coffee.
good.
Well, because there's no ice in it. That's what I was gonna say. It looks like it's like dirt water with no ice, but the ice all melted. So
Careful you don't spill that again.
Yeah.
What's going on, bud?
nothing.
So we had brunch with Bubby, your grandma,
Yes.
my mother-in-law, who's a nice lady but old.
Yes.
Pain in the
Hence
ass.
grandmas. Yes.
Pain in the ass, though.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, you will so be there one day, and probably worse. I hate to break it to you.
What the fuck are you talking about?
In terms of being difficult, because you're already a little bit difficult.
Wow.
But
I don't think I will be. I disagree with you.
You think you'll be like an easy old man?
Absolutely.
You're already a difficult kind of old
You're
man.
difficult, Bronny.
I never said I'm not.
We're
We're talking about you right now.
I don't think I'll be a difficult man. We weren't talking about me. We were just talking about how we had brunch with Bubby and how exhausting it drains the life out of you.
It is. It's very exhausting.
Right. So why you turn around making it about me?
Just because I'm saying, like, we all get there. Most old people are ornery, right? Isn't that the word? Not horny, ornery.
I don't know, Bronny.
Isn't that crazy? Like, you know that place, The Villages in Florida?
Yes.
How they had like the biggest
sex.
They had the most amount of
SDT?
STDs, not SDTs. That's a Jewish sorority, actually.
STD.
Yeah.
Right.
SDT, is, which is what you just said, is a Jewish sorority.
Well, those, you know what that stands for?
What?
Seldom dated twice.
Ah.
I didn't make that up.
I'm sure you didn't.
Okay.
What? You were in a Jewish fraternity, right?
Yes, Bronny.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we don't have to talk about that at all.
No,
just trying to make conversation.
I was talking about brunch, and somehow you didn't want to talk about brunch.
No,
I'm just making conversation.
I'm dodging and weaving.
No, you're not diving or weaving. You're just fucking totally not even discussing it. I literally start off the conversation saying,
"What do you want to talk about brunch?"
I just want to have a conversation about it because we talked about it brunch. It was exhausting. We looked at each other,
yes,
and it sucks the life out of you. And then you're like, and then you're gonna be difficult. You're like that already now.
Well, because I was trying to evolve. Because what more are we gonna say about brunch? You said she's really difficult, and I said, yeah, and you said she zaps a lot of energy, and I go, totally, she really does. What more can we complain about our grandma?
No more. This podcast is over. Oh my God.
I'm just trying to evolve the conversation.
Let's evolve.
What let's talk about brunch. She's annoying.
There's nothing more to talk about.
She's not going to listen to this, even though every single day I see her, she goes, I need to, you got to set me up to listen to your podcast. And you don't want to listen, guaranteed. She wouldn't even know how to. Can she even hear if she's listening?
No, painful. Well, I can't do it. I can't go to lunch on my weekends anymore and do that. Can't do it.
When's the last time you've done it? Last month?
Like 2 weeks ago, we went to a club. It's hard. Mom has the patience, we were saying, of a fucking saint.
Yeah, I mean, there's maybe, a year left of doing that?
Oh, my God, terrible. Wow.
It's not terrible. That's reality.
Well, now she's healthy.
Yeah,
she is physically healthy.
It's not about health. She's old.
Only 90. Could live
only.
People live to be 100.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
People live to be 60, too.
Imagine dealing with the phone calls. Mom is still 50 phone calls for the next 10 years. A day. Wow. All right. It's all good. Let's move on. What would you like to talk about?
I was trying to move on, but then you thwarted my movement. I was talking about fraternities.
I love you. I thwarted you. You're a moron. You know that? You really are a moron.
Why?
So he wants to get coffee. Yeah, so right where we're at before we go to the podcast. So we go to a place and I give him $20. So, your generation, no one carries fucking cash. So instead he gives me back because it was $23. He gives me back the
it was coffee for 4 people. Our coffees weren't $10 each.
Coffees were $23. He comes back, gives me $20 and charged it. I go, well, why'd you charge it? I gave him. He goes, no, I charged it on your card.
You gave me money. It wasn't enough.
I don't want the bill. I get it, right? But all right, I just think it was weird.
That's not weird at all.
Carry cash.
What else should I have done? If it was $23, what should I have done?
Should
I have walked back out to the car, gotten $3 extra?
Yes, correct.
Or just it's the same. It's 6 dozen, half dozen, 6 to the other, whatever the fuck.
I don't want to fucking pay an Amex bill for a fucking coffee thing.
But it's not like it takes you now longer to pay the bill. All you do is click one button and the bill's paid.
But then
it's still your money.
But I have to reconcile for my accountant what's personal and what's business. So I have to now check one more thing.
But it was under Bronson Bloom. It was on the credit card that says Bronson Bloom. So that's not going to be for your business. Look, right there. Bronson Bloom.
Can I see this card for a minute?
Yes.
Thank you. You lost the card. No, I'm not
okay, I don't need it.
Come on. Stop. I'm teaching.
That was me ripping the card. Because this card's not even metal. What kind of plebeian?
You have metal one?
Yeah.
I mean, you're fancy. That's not Amex.
Just dented. No, I don't have a metal Amex.
There
This is
you go.
my personal Amex. Showing all my card numbers to the world
Not
publicly.
too bright.
By the way, this is a great wallet. They should sponsor us.
Who gave you that wallet?
You did.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Yes. It is a good wallet.
It's a great wallet.
We got that in Canada?
Yeah, Vancouver.
That was a fun trip.
Yes.
Can I see that wallet?
Sure, go ahead. It's made out of alligator.
How do you hold your cash? Where does your cash go?
I don't hold cash.
Yeah, that's the problem with you guys.
Why?
You need cash.
My debit card is cash. They're
You
the
have
same
your BU
thing.
card still in there?
Yeah,
Why?
because student discounts I get sometimes.
Okay. Very
I like
nice.
I like carrying my college.
You look
student
much
ID.
older.
Yeah, that was
Costco.
7 years ago.
What's this? Your
Boca Resort.
Nice. Technically, you can't be a member there anymore. You're over 25, I think.
I got to clear out a lot of this before I go to Italy, by the way. Anyways,
All right.
I don't need to bring my Boca Resort card to Italy.
You don't need to bring your AAA card, right? You don't need to bring that.
No.
Your BU card, you don't need to bring.
No, I do need to bring that because I read online that all the museums and shit do free for
Perfect.
students.
Did you tell Thomas?
No.
You should tell him, don't you think?
Wow, I look young in this. So this was my freshman year. So that was 7 years ago.
You should tell Thomas and
Yes,
Emmy.
I will.
Okay. We're going to have fun.
Yeah,
We're gonna
for those
see
who
you
don't
there.
know, Dad
Wow,
and
you
I,
got to lift your hair armpits go into
Dad,
your
Dad,
into your arms.
the hair on my body all connects. Every single look, even from my head to my face, down to my neck, to my chest, to every other part
That's
of my body.
not normal.
Connects.
It's like a horror
My arms
show.
connect.
No, you got to clean
down
that
to my
up.
chest, through my armpit. I know. It's just when I shave my armpits, it is itchy and annoying.
Well, you
and-
don't have to shave. You can
No, even when I trim, it's just like it gets itchy and it's just easier to let it.
Yeah, it's
wild.
coming out with. Yeah,
I'm going to
see
Italy.
it.
I'm trying to become an Italian man.
No, you two here. Hey, grazie, prego. All right, so continue.
I'm just trying to be Italian.
Good.
Yeah, a lot of hair, rapey, really rude. I'm trying to be an Italian. We both went for the board.
That's, the one button we know the most is the bad joke button.
Yeah,
Right,
for real.
okay.
Actually, that's the bad joke button.
Okay.
For those who don't know, next week I'm going to London for a few days and then Italy with a couple of my friends. And Dad and Mom will also
We have
coincidentally.
a great trip planned.
Yeah, you coincidentally will be in Italy at the same time.
Well, we were there first. We were going first. You just booked yours.
Yeah, but it's by coincidence. Like I didn't book because you guys were going.
But we figured. Yeah,
It
right,
just happened.
the job thing, right?
Like it just happened to be the timing worked out for
I
these
gotcha.
trips
I
that we're
gotcha.
both going to be in Italy at the same time.
I got you.
Yeah, but you were questioning me, so I'm just
You question
ironing out.
every fucking thing I do. I don't want to hear.
And I was just ironing out. That's all.
Iron it out.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
ironing it out. So next week I leave, and then a week later you guys leave, and we're gonna do a podcast or two from Italia. So that'll be fun. Yeah, and that's that.
That will be fun.
It'll be very fun.
So you're going to spend 3 days with us.
Yeah.
All right, you can have a good time.
I'm very excited. I've never been.
And you saw last night you were watching our honeymoon when Mom and I went to Italy,
Last night we were watching old home videos
which was cool.
on the TV, which was very fun.
You were like how old? 12?
Well, they ranged. Some of them
I
I
know,
was like
but-
6, some I was like
Right.
14. Yeah.
But you
Very
saw
weird.
our honeymoon.
I did, and I'm older right now watching that honeymoon than you guys were
Going
in
on
the
a-
honeymoon video,
Is that
which is so bizarre.
is that weird?
Yeah, very.
We had a good time.
Because now I think it's like when I was 15 and I heard about your honeymoon, I was like, oh, you guys were adults. You were married adults who traveled around after you got married. Now I'm like, you're younger than me. You were children. I'm literally older.
And we look like children, do we not?
You looked like children, but you also still were the same. That's the amazing thing is like you watch these videos. We were watching videos
You should
of you
take
guys.
one little excerpt of our honeymoon, put it on so people could see.
I can put it on the Patreon,
like a
but
minute.
I'm not going to put it in the cut off the main episode, which is like a random video that people can only listen to, because most people only listen anyways, not watch.
Okay. He's got like this fucking edge and attitude to him, like dick. Go ahead, continue.
But that's who I am, and that's what the message of this is that you are like, you're born the way you are.
Okay, continue.
Well, that's just what's interesting is like you're watching these videos, and I'm watching videos of me, Bryce, and Burke from when we're little kids to even infants, and then you guys from 30 years ago, 25 years ago, and it's crazy to be like,
30 years ago.
Yeah. It's just crazy to be like, oh, we are who we are. Like, the way I was at 11 is the same way I am now,
no, you were
and
ni-
will be
you
the
were
same
ni-
way.
You were nicer back then.
Oh, yeah. Okay. As were you. You were nicer back then.
See, look at you getting all defensive. Huh?
You're the one that gets defensive.
No, I just said you get very defensive.
I said...
and I said you were nicer, and that's all I said. And you were,
and I said, as were you.
See, that's defensive.
But then when I said to Bubby,
but you want to say that is defensive.
When I said you're going to be difficult too with Bubby, and you said you're difficult also. That's the same thing.
No,
where do I get it from?
No, that's not the same thing. Because stop always blaming me and my.
No, everything in my life is because of you. You only want to claim the good things, but you don't want to claim.
I don't
want
to claim any of the shit.
No, you do. But we did our episode last week. I said something. And you were like, yeah, you're welcome because of me. And I was like, yes, everything in my life is because of you. Thank you. I owe a lot of my life to you.
Oh my
But you only want to claim the good and not the bad.
Oh, my God. Do you know how to have a conversation with people and have relationships?
You have to claim the good and the bad. This is called daddy issues. My issues are because of you.
I don't think there's bad in you. There's no bad. I just said one thing. When I literally was talking about Bubby, that's all I was having a conversation. You turned it about me.
No,
that's what I'm saying.
I was saying
you did. No.
I was trying to make the point.
Are you ever wrong? Just shut the fuck. Do you ever wrong?
I was trying to make the point that old people are difficult, and we're all going to become difficult as we age.
That's different than turning it specifically about me.
I should have said I'll be there too. We all will be.
It doesn't matter. I don't mind, but you don't have to turn everything about me. So you, when I made a comment, you got defense, which is okay. But you're like, don't you do too? That's defense.
Is that how I sound? And that's what you always say when I'm.
See, there you go. Oh my God.
It is, but yes, it is crazy watching those home videos. It's just wild. And yeah, that is like a crazy thing to realize that you are who you are. Like I've always been. I've always been this way. That's such a dated reference. No one will ever get that.
I don't give a fuck what people get as long as I know.
Fine. And like you were the way you were. And even like in the episode last week, you said, in the Patreon episode last week, you were like, I only started complaining and becoming annoyed at things as I age. You're too young for that. And I was like, there's no way. Oh my
God, here we go.
Okay, we don't need to go on to the bash dad hour.
I don't give a fuck. I'm being honest with you, but it's just a stupid conversation.
I'm trying to talk about nice home video things, not bad home video things.
I don't mind. Say what you want to say.
No, I don't know what I'm trying to. I'm just saying that it's crazy that we are the same people that we are.
You could definitely see the commonality and the core of a person.
Yeah, like I think most of who we are and how we think and
is genetic.
Yeah, it's just you're born. You're born and that's who you are. And some of it gets a little massaged throughout your life, but I think the core of who you are and how you act and how you think is born into you. Like Zerai is such a particular way. She has such a strong personality in so many different aspects that no one taught her. She is that way. She was just born with it.
Mom had a lot of influence.
The fact that Zerai
I agree.
Is such a rule follower. That's who she is. Like the fact that she has to finish one thing before doing the other.
You have to sit in your chair.
Yeah, exactly.
No one else can sit in that chair.
No one taught her that because Santa's not like that. Zerai just is that way. So it's just crazy that
it is fun.
Like you don't really have control over your life and how you think. That's a whole other conversation, but yes.
Oh, we had a conversation over that.
Well, like free will?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not getting that whole debate with you.
No. Free will doesn't exist for all those who are listening.
Free will does exist.
Obviously, it doesn't.
It does exist.
How can free will exist if you're born the way you are? You just agreed that you're born with certain things. You didn't choose those things.
It's free will for me to lift that up.
No, because you always would have just done that.
See, no, I don't agree with you.
Yes. And that's not free will. That's you making a choice. That's not free will. Because freedom is either all or none. You can't be a little bit free. You either are free or you're not free. It's like pregnant. You're either a little bit you're either pregnant or you're not. You can't be a little pregnant.
We lost all our listeners.
So to be if I prove to you that you have that there's a little bit parts of your life that aren't free, then therefore you can't have full free will.
We lost all the listeners.
I can literally make you have thoughts right now, and you have no control over it.
Okay.
So how you're not even in control of your own brain. So
I had
how
a
can you say
weird
you have free will?
dream last night. I don't really dream. You want to hit? It's a minute dream.
Sure.
Okay. So I was bringing the SUV in for tires at the place at corner of Glades and Federal, which I don't go to that one.
Okay.
They were doing tires, and Banks was in his cage in the back of the car.
Okay.
So we took Banks out, but left him in the cage, like outside. When the car was done, we got in the car, Burke and I, and Burke was this age, older, and somebody took Banks in the cage.
Okay.
So, and we see him in the back of a moving truck in the cage, and I followed down Palmetto to A1A, make a left.
Honestly, that would be a blessing if someone took Banks.
And it's like a block on A1A going north, and they made a left into a hotel which doesn't exist there. I followed the guy in, and I got out of the fucking car, and I beat the fuck out of the guy, and I woke up.
That's really weird.
Isn't
I wonder
weird?
what the Freudian analysis of that would be.
Who the fuck would take Banks?
Why are you dreaming about losing Banks and then beating someone up? I've never beat someone up in ever dream.
But if somebody stole your dog, you wouldn't beat the fuck out of them?
No, I would, but why would I be dreaming about that?
And I went through the red light on Palmetto, right where the
Wow,
beach
what a
is.
badass.
No, I'm just saying. Oh, my God.
It's a joke.
I don't
Lighten up.
mind. I'm like, it was just a stupid comment.
It's called
How do you have
a
friends?
joke. I don't have friends.
I know. So that was it. It was a very short. I don't really do. But I remember the guys working behind the counter, like vividly.
Was there a face to him?
3 people. Yeah.
You know that every face in a dream is a face that you've seen in real life. Your brain is incapable of creating faces. So whenever you dream of a face,
How do you know that?
it's just a scientific fact.
Okay.
I don't know how they know, but it's factual. Your brain can't make up faces. We don't have that ability.
But it was
So
interesting.
every face in your dream is a face that you've seen. Even if you're just like walking in New York City and someone passes and your brain remembers that face,
Now,
that'll appear in your dream.
Wouldn't it be weird because now that's tire place, which I never go to, but I pass every day because I go to work. So it was closed, and there was a new ownership. They redid it
In real life, you're saying?
in real life, and I was talking to the guys. Oh, you're the new owners.
When were you talking to them?
In my dream.
Oh.
Now imagine if I went into
And it
my
was that
and it's
person.
those people.
Well, that would be very weird, yes.
I'm curious. I just want to go in there.
It won't be them. That's impossible unless you're like clairvoyant or unless you're like Raven Simone from
John
That's So
Bull.
Raven.
Okay, but isn't
Not
that
clairvoyant.
yes, but isn't that weird?
Some people do believe that their dreams are real, or there'll be premonitions of other things.
Yeah,
But then there's other times too where it's like there are people that I trust and like believe are rational people, and they'll say like, I had a dream that my grandfather died, and then the next morning I woke up and he died. And so like there are times where that happens, where there's unexplained shit.
Yeah.
Or there'll be, who told me? Someone told me like there was a night where they were in their room and they woke up because they like got worried or something, and their grandma was like in the room, or they could feel their grandma's presence in the room or something. And then the next morning the grandma, they got a phone call from the aunt, and the grandma died in the middle of the night. And so they were like, I don't know what the fuck that was, but it felt like my grandma was like coming to me on her way out of this world.
I don't know.
But that's just like, there are some things where
That are unexplained.
there certainly are.
So let me ask you a question like this. So
And that makes me like,
a little.
it makes me question.
Say,
Yeah, definitely.
So,
because who the fuck, I don't know everything.
So, you know who came out with that things that make you go,
What?
Arsenio Hall. Remember him? He had a show.
Arsenio Hall.
He had
Oh
a
my
show,
God,
the
yeah.
Arsenio Hall show, and he
Okay.
used to have the things that make you go, in the show. Nobody sidetrack.
Okay.
So explain this to me. So you ever have like this morning? We had some people over last night. It was a nice night. And this morning I was saying like my friend Neil and his wife came over. So I'm in bed with mom this morning just talking and saying, it's really nice. It was so nice that Neil and Lisa came over. And literally a half a second later, Neil texted
Yeah,
me.
it's super fucking weird when that shit happens.
That happens all the time.
See, like,
Now-
it is a coincidence, but there are sometimes where coincidences are too much. Like, that is just a crazy coincidence.
But that happens all the time.
But think about all the times it doesn't happen. You know, that's what it is.
But that's not a coincidence. Then.
No, but you're only aware of it when it does happen.
I get it. But
so there are millions of times a day where things don't coincidentally happen.
But I give you so it's not like I'm talking about you or Brant or Mom or whatever or Bubby, who I talk about all the time and like, Bron.
And I text you all the time.
Okay, that's not a big deal. But Neil is a friend of mine. We don't get together a lot.
But also, you guys hung out last night. There's usually
I know, but if I'm talking to Mom at 10:16 in bed and at 10:16 he texts.
Yeah, no, it's weird. It's super weird how things like that
I was saying, we were talking about Stan and Mary about something, and then literally Stan and Mary text us, thanks for the night.
Yeah.
Those are a little peculiar.
One of the weirdest ones in my life, and this happens to everyone, and it does, as I've aged, I remember even like 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
As you age at 26.
No, but like even in my teens, I was like, the world is 100% rational and logical. There's factually no supernatural things. There's factually no metaphysical things. Like nothing like that can ever exist, and it doesn't. As I've like matured, I honestly have changed my mind in terms of like, who the fuck am I to know? And like people forever, since the dawn of man, have believed in all these things. There might be something. I have no idea. Who am I?
Okay.
I remember when the craziest coincidence of my life remember I went to that wilderness camp in North Carolina, Turtle Island. When I was 13, I went to this camp, which is a story for another time.
So hard to explain.
Story for another time, but I went to this wilderness survival camp.
Remember walking in?
Yeah, have we ever talked about that on the pod? I don't know.
No, we should talk about it. That's a long story.
Yeah, but
a good story.
It is. I went to this wilderness camp.
But we're not talking about the story. Talk about the coincidence.
Yes. And there were 20 campers. That was it. This camp was very small.
And you're living outdoors. Woods. You're showering in a creek. I mean, you eat what you basically kill.
Yeah, literally. I had to kill animals.
You're a Jewish kid doing that.
We were in the middle of the woods of North Carolina. There were 20 campers in the country that were part of it.
What's the name of it?
Turtle Island.
Right. So if you want, people can look it up. It's really cool.
But that's what I'm saying is it was so small, and that's where the coincidence comes from. Out of 20 kids, this one other kid and I connected really well, and he was like my best friend during the camp. And we were like, he was from Los Angeles, and we got along great during the camp. And then I was 13, and then the camp ended. The next time I was ever in LA after this camp was when I was in high school, and I was taking the SAT. I had to take it in LA. I was in LA for a film competition, and it happened to coincide with the weekend that I was signed up for the SAT. So my college counselor at my high school was like, we recommend you take it at this school because it's like a good school and it's a good area. This school was an all-girls school, right? Random school was recommended to me by my counselor in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So I show up to the school on the day in Los Angeles. Why would I have ever taken the SAT in Los Angeles?
Yeah, why not here?
Right. I've just happened to be at a film competition that weekend in LA. So I'm standing in line.
That's a lot of pressure. You're doing the film competition.
Yeah, I had to leave the night before the SAT. I had a 16-hour film festival
thing. It's like a 24-hour film thing. You're like a scavenger hunt film festival.
Yeah, it was actually so fun. You wake up in the morning with your crew. They give you a prompt.
Okay, 6 to 1.
Yes, story. But then you have to deliver a full film at the end of the day. You have 16 hours to make a full film.
I would have liked to. Mom did that. I would have liked to have done that.
So I'm in line at this school in Los Angeles, an all-girls school that I never would have signed up for the SAT anyways. I'm in line, and there's 200 kids in line to all give our passes to like get into the school.
It was the PSAT, wasn't it?
No, it was the SAT. It was the only one I took. That was the only one I took.
A lot of pressure.
I'm in line, and I turn around, and the kid from fucking Turtle Island is standing behind me.
5 years later.
Yeah. What? Like, the odds of that are 1 in a trillion.
What about, Bronny?
What are the odds of that?
What about the time when we were in Colorado? With the bag, you never.
Oh, with that Uncle Adam.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's not beyond fucking crazy.
There are certain things in life where it's like, yeah, the random odds of that could happen.
It did happen. Aspect,
but then there's another thing where it's like, or is something trying to make it happen? Is something in the universe pushing things?
There must have been 10 different things that were pivotal in my story that could have changed that. Like so bizarre.
Yeah, I definitely, as I've matured, realized.
And then
I don't know shit about the world.
Aunt of Jay who's your Garrett? It's his father's aunt.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, but there's so much. It's just life is weird.
Yeah.
And then there's so many other things too, where it's just there are people that I trust that are like, I experienced a thing that I can't explain, and it changed my whole belief.
Pop with the
yeah,
ghost?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I totally believe him, and he's a hard ass, and he's not afraid of anything.
And he would never lie about that either.
100% ghost, he said.
Still March Madness.
I'm so mad.
Well, all the brackets I hope are going strong. And while you are dealing with your sports madness, I'm over here dealing with my grooming madness with the help of Manscaped.
I'm gonna let him talk.
Just trying to make it relevant.
The product speaks for itself. Bottom line, dude.
I'm trying to make it relevant to the good people at home. But if that didn't work, then just hear these words. Go buy Manscaped. Head over to manscaped.com. Check out their whole lineup, which we're fans of over here at Daddy Issues. Not only fans of their amazing electronic products, such as the Lawnmower 4.0, which is the best trimmer on the market, in my personal opinion. And you can trust me because look at all this hair.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I haven't used it on my chest in a while.
Do that in your apartment. Don't do that here. That's so much hair.
You can trust me as part wolf man that I know what a good trimmer is. And the Lawnmower 4.0 is the best that I've used.
No nicks.
No.
Lasts a long time. The battery's great. Using the fucking bathroom.
I literally haven't charged mine in
And
4
yours
months.
is like a fucking weed whacker because you.
Yeah, it's working extra hard, extra RPMs on that.
Yeah, and it doesn't nick. And again, you can use it in the shower, which is great. You can wet or
fully
dry.
waterproof.
Yeah, it's
wireless charging.
Wow, you're a motherfucker.
If you don't have a good trimmer, or if you do, you don't have one like this. If you're in the market for a new one, head over to manscaped.com. Look at the Lawnmower 4.0. Well worth an investment. It's really great, and it's at a great price too. And you'll get an even better price by listening to our show.
That's right.
Because if you head over to manscaped.com, use the code DaddyIssues20, you get 20% off and free shipping on all their products. So not only on the Lawnmower 4.0, but on all their new premium products, which is their new line of lotions and shampoos and deodorant and spray, which I use every day now in my grooming regimen. And the shit smells awesome.
We've never steered you wrong. You listen to us on all the shit. You agree with what we have to say. Just buy the fucking product. You'll thank us. I guarantee it.
Yeah. So head over to manscaped.com. Use the code DaddyIssues20. You get 20% off and free shipping. And you will make your life better. And in turn, it actually makes our life better.
And also, your significant other will enjoy it too.
If you have that, yes.
If not, get one.
Yeah,
100%.
That's weird.
And the Lyceum building. What does the Lyceum building say? Does it say anything about it? Because
what Dad's saying is his dad, who was like the opposite of someone who would believe in ghosts,
he worked.
Said he encountered ghosts many times in his building.
In this old building in Tarrytown he worked in. They said there were times he went, before you go into this Bronson, he went up to, he said it was a walk up. And you know, like those old 1930s private eye where they had the bottom was wood, but the top of the door, the office doors were always that frosted glass.
Yeah, so cool. Like old school. Like
hey,
yeah.
What's up, Bugsy? And that kind of thing.
What's the sitch, kid? This is me taking my top hat off.
Yeah. And the guy in the calculator has the thing with the puffy shirt and the applicator.
Yeah, and so much smoking.
and the lamp is that little brass lamp with the green.
With the green, yes.
With the little brass
with the beads on it. Yeah.
So,
see here, kitty.
Yeah. Hey, boss, look what you'll never know what I just heard, boss. Get out of here, kid. You're bothering me. No, but boss, you got to listen to this. What is it? What did you bother me? Frankie's in the alley. He's going to kick your ass. Fuck Frankie. I'm going to go right there. Okay, enough. So he said 2 times, my father, that one, and he was friends with all the police in Tarrytown because they used to moonlight. My dad would give him jobs, whatever. So one time he says he's walking up the stairs, like 3. I used to go to that building with my dad on weekends because my dad we'd go to YMCA, we'd work out, we'd go to bakery, all this shit. I'd run errands with him. So he was walking up the stairs and he said some force would not let him walk up the stairs anymore. He stopped at the stairs. Then another time he said,
that's weird.
His office had those doors, but there was like maybe the floor had like 7 offices, or a small floor, like let's say the 2nd, 3rd floor. And he's there on a Saturday or Sunday and no one's there. But he would hear people, like a party going on next door in the office. Next door. So he'd come out, he would look in the glass, but you couldn't see it was frosted. Yeah. And when you look in the glass, it would be quiet. He'd go back to the office and he'd say,
It's weird.
It
I
gives
mean,
you
like
chills.
you can
Doesn't it give you-
explain it in other ways, but it is weird objectively.
Weird shit. So
I did Google Lyceum Building, Tarrytown, New York haunted, and the first thing that came up, this is from HV Mag. Discover the haunted history of Tarrytown and Sleepy Hollow. Then this one, the historic Lyceum Building built on top of the site of the former something. Hold on, let's see what this says. The historic
let me
Lyceum
see these pictures. It's
built
cool.
on top of the former site of Bridget Bishop's apple orchard has recently been renovated. The building is reportedly haunted by the ghost of Bridget Bishop, the first victim of the Salem witch trials. Whoa.
Ooh, I got chills. I want to see this. Wait, you got to.
Oh, no, this is in Mass, the Lyceum Building in Massachusetts.
Oh,
Never mind.
Okay.
But this article is about the haunted history of Tarrytown, HudsonValleyMag.com. Haunting history of Tarrytown and Sleepy Hollow. I wonder if Lyceum comes up here.
Can you search it?
No, it's not in there. Lyceum is not in there. I don't believe in that stuff.
I don't know either, but I believe my dad.
And it just makes me, I'm more open to that than I've ever been, because for all of human history,
Everybody, there's stories.
everyone is like,
Right.
yes, this is the world.
Right.
This is how it is. There are a bunch of spirits. There's a bunch of demons. There's a
Right,
bunch
like,
of
where does
forces.
it all come from?
There's a bunch of
Hey, boss.
magic, and there's a bunch of everything in the world, and every single culture. Native Americans on one side of the world for thousands of years believed it, and Chinese people on the other side of the world believed it. Aboriginals in Australia believed it, and people in Norway believed it. So it's like they never connected those cultures, but they all have stories of
Similar.
demons and ghosts and monsters and all this stuff. How can we just write that
And
off?
my dad's not one. Like, there are people you think exaggerate, but he was totally one that was no bullshit.
Yeah.
No bullshit.
I would love to encounter that, though. I don't believe it, but that's why I'm like, please,
okay,
show me.
were
Like,
you-
a ghost needs to fucking haunt me, please.
Were you with us at the Red Lion Inn?
Yes, with that old woman.
Okay. Who was there? You and Burke.
Me and Burke.
Okay, okay.
And you have a weird feeling, but then it's also like, that could just be your
Well, it was
own brain psyching
that
yourself
was
out.
an eerie place.
Very.
Okay, and the floor and
And it was known to be a haunted hotel.
type up Red Lion Inn. Ronnie,
Where was
that
it? In Massachusetts,
Yeah,
right?
was that woman totally not a ghost? You guys pulled a match and slept in our room.
Yeah, we were. There was,
It was
a
scary.
weird feeling in our room that we had. Yeah, the Red Lion Inn in Stockbridge. Let's see if we can do haunted. From TripAdvisor or usghostadventures.com, the Red Lion Inn is on here. I try to remember the historic hotels in America. Red Lion Inn dates back to 1773. Let's see. Structural collapse. Phantoms. Surprisingly, our journey into the phantoms at Red Lion Inn started the popular review site TripAdvisor. More than one review was left about room 301 and the unusual activity that occurred there. One review stated that the bedsheet was tugged during the dark hours of the night, and another reported the feeling of their toes being pulled on as they lay in bed. The sound of footsteps and someone sitting on the bed are also reported.
That's scary.
A third review told of disturbances during the night in this form of strange apparitions and covers being tugged from the bed. The apparition usually seen in room 301 is a tall man in a top hat and period attire. He is said to vanish into a white mist. The problem is, like, why are ghosts always in like the 1800s? Why isn't there a ghost in
From
like
last year?
Urban Outfitters like
Who shops at Urban Outfitters?
everyone?
And what about where's the place I stayed in?
Wait, but we didn't even tell the story of the Red Lion, and we just said Red Lion Inn.
Okay,
we
go
were there and we're walking the hallway at night. This hotel, as it said, was built in 1773, so it's small hallways. It's like all wood,
and the floor is on an angle.
the room literally looked like it was like curved on an angle down.
Yeah, the wooden floor is all. Yeah, it's very weird.
And we're walking there in the hallway, coming
like
home from dinner or
nighttime.
something, and there's an old woman in a white nightgown.
like a night
The nightgown.
Yeah,
Like, and
yeah.
she's old. Like, she wasn't like 60 old. She was like 85, 90
Yeah,
old.
old.
And she was, from my memory, she was like hugging
the wall, just touching the wall.
And she was like, her hand was on the wall, and she was just like walking by us, and we passed
Talking
in the
to us.
hallway,
It was eerie.
and she was just like staring at us and walking, and she was small. She was like 5'2".
and then we turned around, she was gone.
Yeah, I mean, she could have gone into a room or a hallway or something. I don't know.
Where did I go for Susan? At
New Hampshire.
Okay, that hotel.
That's the hotel from Upload. From the
Okay.
show Upload.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, you were the one that told me that.
Okay.
Or Mom, maybe.
Yes, and the one from it's Upload. That one. Mom thought it was the one in New York.
I don't know.
So that hotel's haunted too. Whatever the name of that hotel is.
But like when you say The Mohonk Mountain House.
Mohonk. That's
Yeah.
not the one.
Oh, that's Upload.
That's the one. No, that's the one with right.
This is Upload.
Mohonk, correct. That's not the one we went with Susan.
Oh yeah, it's in New York. Mohonk's in New York.
Right, and but that's a beautiful
Gotcha.
hotel. But the one in what state is that again?
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire was totally. Everyone says that room is haunted.
But like, did ghosts only? If you died between 1600 and 1855, you became a ghost, and after you didn't, because it's like, why are there only ghosts in New England? There's not ghosts in California because no one lived there before 1800s. It's like only New England where there were ghosts, where there were people in the 1700s are there ghosts. There's no ghosts in Florida, right? Like,
I don't know.
When have you heard of a ghost encounter in Florida? But you hear them all the time in
That's
in New
true
York
too.
and New
That's true
Jersey and
too.
Connecticut. But you never hear about them in Oregon. Like, maybe
I
you
don't
do,
know
and maybe we just don't know. But I definitely have become more open to not even ghosts, but just here's another great example of things that have made me become more open. The fact that everyone who does, we talked about this, but everyone who does the drug DMT says they are transported to a different realm. They're not on Earth anymore, and they talk to other beings and communicate with them. And people across generations, across cultures, across languages, without communicating with each other or knowing about these beings, have come together and been like, oh, you talk to those beings? I did too. They looked like this for me. Oh, yeah, same. They looked like this. How is that possible?
Okay, but isn't that the drug? That's the side effect of the drug.
It could be.
Listen for a second.
But
and we did talk about this on our
people
podcast.
who do DMT say it's real. They're like,
Okay,
I'm there and it's real.
I get it, but their drugs have side effects, right? You can
Yes.
have vomiting, nausea, headaches, whatever. This is what this.
So it's just like a hallucination.
Listen, if everybody's the same thing related to this drug, then it's the drug.
Yeah, it could be.
It's not.
But also the
using
drug
a
is
gateway.
natural. Like it's in your brain. So the drug, a lot of it is in your brain produces a small amount of it naturally, DMT, and they say that when you are dying, your brain floods with DMT, and that's why a lot of people it helps you go into
to cope with the death. I guess.
and so people believe that there's something spiritual with this chemical.
Okay, but that's a little bit different than saying reach into some realm with aliens because if it, I think, and again, I'm just making what I think is an objective opinion, if that even makes sense here. I'm sure science will tell you certain parts of the brain have the same reaction for everybody.
Yes, yeah.
Like
for the most, yeah.
like the pituitary, whatever the frontal lobal is. People
yeah.
tell you. I don't know what it is.
Not a lobal, but yeah, but front lobe, yeah.
Lobe. But my point,
And pituitary is a thing,
right?
yes.
But they'll tell you there's the fight and flight. There's all the different the arousal part, whatever. There's
Yes.
different parts of the brain.
Our brains react
that are
as
same,
humans.
right? So therefore, I have to believe that there's something in that drug,
Yes.
whatever it is, that it causes that reaction. That therefore there's the commonality.
That's the
everybody.
rational. Yes, I agree. That's the logical explanation for it. But so many people have done it, and it's like, I understand that, but also I can't explain it unless
I
you
get
do
it, but there's people that trip on drugs and say you can't explain. You
Yes.
can't explain unless you trip on that drug.
But then here's another thing too that I was actually thinking about this the other week, and it made me be like just more open to all this stuff. You know, when we talk about like conspiracy theories and elite societies and like the Illuminati and all that shit, right? It's always like the elites of society, right? The richest people, the smartest people, right, are always into the occult. Hitler famously was obsessed with the occult. Opening
The occult?
Occult, OCCULT.
I don't know what that is.
Occult is like
I thought you were
metaphysical
saying
practices.
ACULT.
No, occult is like, it's just like a blanket word for metaphysical, supernatural practices. Let's see what the actual definition is. Supernatural, mystical, or magical beliefs, practices, or phenomena involving or relating to supernatural phenomena. A category of esoteric supernatural beliefs and practices which generally fall outside the scope of religion and science, encompassing phenomena involving otherworldly agency as such as mysticism, spirituality, and magic. So that all falls under the occult. The most important, smartest, wealthiest, powerful people in the world are all obsessed with the occult. Think about all the conspiracy theories with QAnon and how Hillary Clinton and all the Washington, D.C. elites are sacrificing children for demonic things.
I think people are just crazy.
But why would when you get to a certain level of power, you turn to craziness? Or is it all... It just makes me question, why would Hitler be obsessed with occult stuff? And why would Bill Gates be obsessed with occult stuff? And why... Like, we were also talking about... remember I talked to you about Bohemian Grove, which is that like elite society of men who meet in outside of San Francisco, and it's like all powerful government people and business people, and it's factual. Like, it's a known thing. It used to be a conspiracy theory, but there have been video. It's fully factual. And they, like, Henry Kissinger gone, every president of the United States goes. It's this whole thing, and it's a camp. And they do weird shit, but the only thing that we know factually that they do is they all gather in the middle of this bonfire ceremonial pit, and there's this huge statue of a owl. The owl god Mollusk is what they call it, or Moloch or whatever, and they burn the statue and like chant around it in white robes and like...
That's not normal behavior.
Right, but what I'm saying is these are the elites in our society. And the elites in every society since the dawn of time. The Illuminati, the Freemasons.
Okay.
Why are they all doing
Okay.
things with the spiritual and the supernatural?
I think...
It makes me think there's something that we don't know.
No.
And once you get to a powerful level, you know it. Or
No.
you just are bored with your life and you try to do other shit.
I think if you look at a certain personality, like when you look at someone who's like a serial killer or a sociopath or whatever it is, there's certain common traits. I think that when people become certain narcissistic or power or whatever it is, there's a further trait. I don't know, but I just think that's what it is. A lot of the stuff becomes about uniqueness and power.
Yeah, it could just be because you're bored. Once you're a billionaire, what else do you do?
You know, so I think it's... And
it just makes me question a little, because it's like, why are all these smart people involved in this?
And they're not as smart, but...
Bill Gates is objectively smart.
You're right, but
Hitler's objectively smart, even if you disagree with him.
But listen, and I think it's also
Which
about...
I do disagree with him.
Right, but I think it's about power, control, further to be elite, a sense of belonging.
But why, like, occult shit? Power, to like have power and stuff, you don't need to talk about eating babies' adrenal glands.
No, but Bronson, look at this. Remember the movie? What was it called? Flesh. Flesh.
The one on Hulu.
Yeah. Okay. All these people not to remove, but the way people want to do something that's
I guess it's
different.
people are weird.
Fucking people are weird, and I think everyone has these weird tendencies, right? I think that when you get so wealthy and so above it, like look at these rappers that think they're so above it, or these athletes or actors. When you have a lot of money and people cater to you and kiss your ass, whatever, why do a lot of children actors, at least when we were younger, these children actors that now they're adults, they're all fucked up.
Well, of course.
It's a different world.
Yeah.
I just think that's what it is. I don't think that's due because I don't believe that this. I believe that we're not the only living species in all the galaxies, but I don't believe in the
occult shit.
Yeah, I don't
magic.
I don't believe in that.
Supernatural
demons,
shit.
I don't
demons.
believe in that.
I don't either. But that's just it. It just makes me question when it's like when so many people do believe in it, and so many people since the dawn of time have.
But I also think.
Where did that come from? Is that just because the human? I mean, the human brain is kind of hardwired to believe.
Right.
It's a survival instinct. Like it helped us band together to believe in a common good.
Or the body, when you get injured, you go into shock. Right, the body.
It's a survival.
It's a way to help with the pain. When you're about to die, when it says you go into the light or this and that.
Yeah,
I think
that's the DMT, but it's a survival.
I think it's a way that's the way we're set up to help. So
that's another thing. Near-death experiences. That's a whole other thing that's made me question. I remember I took a whole class on that in college.
But doesn't it make sense though to have the brain? Like think about it, because when I've watched more people die, obviously because I'm older, right? But
yeah, I've known maybe 2 deaths my whole life.
Pa?
Yeah, Pa and...
but the closest person to you is Pa.
Yeah.
Right? So you saw him...
dying.
Right. And it was sad.
Yeah.
But you see the difference. Like
a change in how and thought.
Right. And also, even though he knows he's dying, there's more of an acceptance. Where if you had to think now, me, God forbid, knock on wood, my age, like I don't want to die. But I guess you get older and closer, not that we want to die, but there's an acceptance more. You go through the stages and you're older. That's, I think, a way we are made as human beings.
100%. It's a coping mechanism.
Correct. But it's a machine. We're built perfectly.
As we evolved, the people who were slightly better at that were able to procreate more and more. And that's what it is. We've slowly evolved to be the best
as opposed to
at surviving.
Right. As opposed to where it's just chaos and when you're dying, you're just screaming from fear.
Right.
I've been around a lot of people that are dying just because of my life.
Yeah.
I'm 55. And never once have I seen anybody
go
about
into
to die and go
with such fear.
Crazy
even
psychotic.
People who die, you hear those stories of people who got in a car accident young, like a 30-year-old who gets in a car accident and is dying, and even then they're like going in peace.
There's a comfort,
a calm comes over people.
Calm, that's the word, right?
That's definitely a coping survival.
So I think that's just the way the body, because
it's hardwired into us.
Think about it. Have you ever? Well, yeah, but I'm saying I've never seen anybody screaming like, "What are you screaming for? I'm dying."
I've never even heard of people dying in like a panic. Most people die in calm.
Correct. That's what I'm trying to get.
It's definitely survival.
So I think when you see the light or people have similarities in their near-death experiences, it's the body and the brain doing what it's supposed to be doing.
Yeah, totally. But then there are all these near-death experiences where people die, literally. Their heart stops. They're dead for multiple minutes, medically dead. And they'll come back and they'll tell of things that they encountered.
Okay. But then
that could just also be the brain.
That's what it's going to hit.
Just the brain on the fritz. Like when I'm asleep, my brain is encountering a lot of shit, but it's not real. It was in my brain.
Right. I think if you're medically dead for a couple of minutes, your brain's still like alive. It's still
and
like
it could just be dreaming of things.
Right.
Or it could be that DMT flood
putting
you
in that.
Yeah, you're just going on an acid trip.
And if you died, after that 3-minute period, you're dead. If you come back, that's what you recall.
Yeah. Could be. It's just who knows.
We'll never know.
No, and that's definitely a growth of mine that I've noticed is that 5 years ago, I was like, no, I do know. There's nothing. It's impossible. It's not scientific. It's not factual. And as I've aged, I'm just like, how do I know? Maybe there is merit to all these other things, and we'll never know. So I'm just open to it all. But I want to experience all of that. I want to encounter a ghost. I want a demon to possess me. I want to speak to God. I want all that stuff because I don't believe in it, and I want to because that would change my whole life. That would change the world forever for me.
The ghost thing, I don't believe in ghosts. I don't fear that stuff. I do have an eerie feeling like if I'm walking a place I don't feel comfortable or safe.
But that's an instinctual thing.
Correct. That's what I'm trying to get at.
That's your animal lizard brain being like, there's a predator.
That's fight or flight. Yeah. Right. I get it. And I know that. Mom says
psychs herself out though. It's mental.
100%.
When you feel that uneasiness when you're walking down the street and it's physical. No, it's not in your head. Your body. Your hair starts to stand up.
I'm literally thinking I got to protect me and my family.
But what I'm saying is it's not a mental reaction. It's a physical reaction. Right. Your body, your heart will start pumping more adrenaline.
I agree with you.
It'll be a physical reaction. Mom, when she goes into an old building, it's a mental thing.
Guaranteed.
She's psyching herself out mentally.
It's the same as her being claustrophobic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Claustrophobia is a mental thing, but it does exhibit itself physically. Yes. Yeah.
But that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
When mom goes in and her psyching herself up, and I don't even know if at this point, it's not a negative I'm saying against her. Believe it. I think it's so much of years of the same thing. It's just her mantra.
Yes. And it's like now she just is the person who's afraid of old houses.
Part of it.
She just is
and she's going to say it every time.
Yes.
But she gets through it and really she goes, I'm so proud of myself, but it's
I'm so proud of myself. Mom will be like, I'm so proud of myself for walking through that building with 7,000 other people in Europe because it's a museum now, but it used to be old. It's
now,
like, Mom, what?
I do get claustrophobia because I'm not. But like when I went spelunking, and it's very...
See, I didn't get any claustrophobia from that.
No, I didn't either. But I'm saying, but you could see...
Caving. We went like crawling through caves. That's
right. And it was tiny. Like picture a chair. Picture a regular kitchen chair.
Oh, no.
No, let me finish. And you're crawling under the legs of a picture chair, right? And you...
That even smaller. There was one point when we went in the cave...
You can lift your head.
There was one point where we had to lay on our bellies and like climb through like a snake. We had to kind of slither our way through.
And if you lift your head up half an inch.
If you lifted your head, you hit the roof.
You hit the roof.
And there were feet in front of you, and your feet were in front of someone.
It's all mental. Am I right? That's all mental.
And we were there for about 6 minutes crawling through that.
Easy.
And you just have to calm yourself.
Now, what if someone said, I can't do it? You're stuck.
You're screwed. You're in it. You're in it. But see, that's
Doesn't
a
it give you
good,
a little anxiety
a
talking
little
about
bit,
it now?
because I can picture being back
Yes,
there.
me too.
But it's interesting how that's another
Thank
thing.
God Bryce couldn't make it. He was too big his shoulders.
No, Bryce wasn't there that summer. It was me, you, Burke, and Justin.
Right.
Bryce wasn't there. Right. But it just
Burke was like a living room. He's so tiny.
it is crazy how like that's another thing where your brain will just
Fuck with you.
no the other way. It's like your brain knows that you're in this and you have no choice but to do it.
But no.
So a calm.
No.
I remember I was so nervous to do it, and then once I was in, I was like, easy.
Bronny, that's us. Plenty of people would have a panic attack.
Yes, that's true.
That's
but
my
that's what I'm
point.
saying. I like that my brain is like, okay, we're doing this and we're good.
We are
Yes.
we are telling
Yes.
our brain. See, that's what we're saying to ourselves. Stay calm. We're going to get through it no matter
You
what.
will be fine. You will
There
not.
are some people, most people,
Who their brain will spiral.
That they fucking. I see
That's
it.
true.
No,
Yes.
I see it all the time with people.
I see it in even normal things. Even Burke with having to do like an email will sometimes spiral, and we're gonna be like, whoa.
Right. So you understand there's a difference. So we're fortunate that we look at it from an objective standpoint and say we're gonna be fine.
Yes, nothing's gonna
Some
happen, and if
people-
it does, it does because you're already here. That's how I think a lot. in life.
But when we are in a situation like when I think that situation, I say to myself, I know I'm gonna get through it, and no matter what, I'm gonna get through it.
Right.
There are some people say, "Oh my god, I don't do it," and they freeze.
yes,
That's
just different brains.
That's
reacting
different
differently.
genetic, the way you
Yes,
wire.
it is because I don't even think a lot of that is upbringing. I
No.
think you are either that type of person that your brain is calm in stressful environments.
Wait. I do believe there's a part that is a certain upbringing too, because if you're secure and have a confidence level,
But I think
you can
that-
get through that.
But is that? But that I mean to bring it all the way around. Are you born with the confidence, or do you gain confidence?
I think
my whole life I was born as a person who was confident.
I think I'm telling you as a parent, you can gain confidence.
I'm sure you can gain and lose. But I think you can either be a confident person or a
no.
self.
But if you nurture your children, love them, give them sense of security, give them sense of independence, sense of self-worth, let them figure out their problems on their own, that builds your confidence.
Yeah.
If you're always there with the fucking parachute or whatever to the net and always taking care of your kids and fucking fighting their battles and make sure they know that there's,
I guess
there's
you're
no
right.
adversity, that does not build
because
confidence.
most people my age now are not very confident, but a generation before most people were. So it's a lot of it is
we always
parenting.
tell you as parents? Figure it out.
Yeah,
Haven't we done it when you were little? But there are some parents that order for their kids,
yeah.
literally do everything for their fucking kids, and the kids.
No, I'm so maybe proud is the right word. I was going to say proud, but then I'm so proud of myself that like throughout my life I've gone through quote unquote hardships. My life has not been hard, but I've learned through them. Like I remember such a vivid moment of my life. There have been multiple of these, but one that stands out, which is what we were talking about earlier, is when I went to that wilderness camp.
Yeah.
And I remember being at that camp and being so uncomfortable and out of my element.
Well, it was uncomfortable.
We were literally sleeping outside. There was no running water, no electricity. Everyone else besides me was like real deal hillbilly shit. Like I was
Alabama, Arkansas.
I was like the most fish out of water you could
they
get.
brought their own fucking bow and arrows at the age of 12. They brought fucking huge knives. The one kid had a fucking a rat tail in the fucking and we pull up and
like no teeth.
And we pull up like in this Escalade with 24-inch rims. Mom's
into the middle of the woods.
And mom's in her Chanel fucking. We have chrome 24-inch rims and a black Escalade. And mom's like with the Chanel belt buckle and whatever. And we're like, oh my god! But that's a whole story.
That is a whole story, which we can say for another time.
Did I do Kilimanjaro?
Yeah,
and
no,
I slept in a tent.
But what I'm
That's
saying
a
is,
personality.
and you learn about these things. You learn about yourself through it.
You learn about
I
yourself.
remember I was at this camp and so out of my element. And I remember after 2 days, the first night, we were sleeping outside in the woods, right? We have a cover over us, but we're outside.
It's a lean-to is what you see.
Yeah, and I remember I couldn't fall asleep because it was so loud. The woods were so
Scary.
loud from animals and insects and the wind that I couldn't fall asleep. And I remember the next morning being so tired and uncomfortable and scared, and uncomfortable is the total right word, because I was just so out of my element. And I remember on the second morning, I wrote a note to you guys.
We were so upset that you were there. We were upset.
I wrote a note to you guys saying, I don't like this. Can you guys come pick me up? Whatever. All this thing. And I wrote the note and I said to myself, wait 2 more days. If you still feel this way, then you're justified. You tried it and you can go home. I was 13. I'm glad that I had the maturity to even do that to myself then.
Yep.
And
you were always mature though.
I remember thinking, you just got to try it a little more. you'll be bummed with yourself if you didn't try it. Try it a little more, and then you can feel fine. You won't have to feel bad that mom and dad have to come pick you up. You tried it. And I remember I kept it, and I was like, and I promised myself, if you still feel this way, you can send it. 2 days later, I didn't feel that way. I adapted. I was comfortable in the situation. And then by the end of the camp, I didn't want to leave.
I know.
And so I remember feeling that way. And now I know for a fact, deep down in my core of who I am, that I can get through anything. Yeah. Not even just because of that, but a lot of other things. No, but if I'm uncomfortable, if I'm out of my element, I know that as long as I got myself and I'm chill and I power through it, I'll be fine. And I love knowing that about myself. And that sucks that people don't know that about themselves.
Well, the key is, and I can totally relate, is that pushing yourself outside your comfort level and knowing that your brain has even more power than your physical aspect of it.
Yes. Mind over matter type
Right.
thing.
So when I did Kilimanjaro and I'm sleeping in a tent for like 8 or 9 days, no shower, nothing, and you're pooping in a bucket. Yeah. The first 2 days is like, oh my God. By day 3, 4, you're in your zone.
It's amazing how the human brain is so adaptable.
Well, what about these guys? What about these white collar guys that go to jail from Boca that are guys like me, regular guys, and they commit these white collar crimes? They go to jail 5 days.
We're creatures. We're creatures of survival. Our brain is hardwired to adapt and survive.
Correct.
And you don't know it until you have to do it.
Until you're in it.
Yeah. And then you do it and you're like, oh shit, I am kind of just an animal that is adapting to this environment.
Yeah.
Interesting. I love that I know that about myself. And
not many people are like that.
Everyone should put themselves in situations where you learn you have to face your own true self
and encounter outside your comfort zone.
Yeah, totally. And then I remember even like going to college and not knowing anyone and being uncomfortable with that. But I still, at the end of the day, I was like, I'm chill. I've got myself and I know I'll be fine. Yeah. I remember going to Australia by myself and I was like, I'm not worried. I'll be fine. And they always end up not being only fine, but amazing.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it like that.
Yeah. All right, should we do a fatherly advice?
Quick one, yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't get to a single topic?
No.
Not a single topic.
I was interested by these conversations. That was a very fast hour for me.
Oh, yeah, but it's funny you have this whole list. We never get to it.
But we will get to them in the Patreon, which you can join at patreon.com/daddyissuespod. I've got some good political things to talk for in that. I also wanted to talk to you about, there's a lot of Pete Davidson, Kanye West drama. Kim Kardashian is involved in that too. So we'll talk about that.
Doesn't he have his own fucking Netflix thing about Kanye or something?
Genius is what it's called. Oh. Genius. But Jenyus. Genius. Because he's like Kanye, Y-E.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So we'll talk about all, like, if you guys want, this was more of like a very non-political conversation, more just about life and all that stuff. If you guys want our political takes for the week, you got to join up on the Patreon.
Just join it up already. Give me a fucking break.
Patreon.com/daddyissuespod for $5 a month.
Right. It helps Bronny.
The price of 1 cup of coffee, you get 4 full extra hours of episodes.
Yeah, everybody listening should be on Patreon. It helps Bronny because he's unemployed now.
Yes, that's true. This is my only job. Okay. What do we got here for fatherly advice?
That hour went quick, dude.
Okay, this is a long one. It's from one of our OG listeners. I'm not going to say his name. I'll say it to you, but I'll bleep it because I don't want to give him up.
Let me look at the name. Don't even want to bleep
here.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Good guy.
OG listener.
Good guy.
Been around with us forever. $10 a month Patreon member. So he's a homie and he's a friend.
Word up.
Here.
And thank you for doing this for him.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Said, I was just broken up with last week after dating for a year, was talking about moving in together and everything. So I thought things were fine. She was going through some things with a death in the family, and the wake was last Wednesday. She was hardly texting me, which I get, but got mad at me for not asking if she wanted me to go to the house and help let the dogs out. I didn't know she would be out until 2 a.m. with the wake.
That's a long time for a wake.
No, wait. Yeah. So it says, I thought things were fine. She was going through some things with a death in the family, and the wake was last Wednesday. She was hardly texting me, which I get, but she got mad for me not asking if she wanted me to go to her house and let the dogs out. I didn't know she would be out till 2 a.m., and the wake was at 11 the next morning. Then she went away on a work thing for the weekend after, and I stayed at her house. I drove her family around the... Wait, sorry, dude. This is not written very well. Drove her family around to the airport, which was 4 hours after I got off work, just driving them around and then back, proceeded to stay there to watch the dogs. Sunday comes and she calls me early saying she's back and didn't have keys to the car because they were in my truck that I took to run everyone around. Went there to help her and her friend load up the truck, left the truck and went back home. Started dishes and they made lunch. Okay. Cleaned the dishes and put them in the sink and left them and did dinner later. Okay. We don't need to hear all your chores. After a little, she texted me asking if I can drive her friend to the airport because she was tired and wasn't going to be able to make the trip without falling asleep. I said, of course. So her friend came home, packed her stuff. I switched the laundry to the dryer and left. Took 2.5 hours to get there and back. I run downstairs to grab the laundry and it's still wet. Woke up Monday, went down to get my work clothes, folded my extra hoodie. Wow, he's giving a lot of details. Come later that day, she gets home mad that she has to clean up the dishes in the sink and fold the laundry because I only folded my 2 things and not hers.
Give me a break.
She proceeded to fight with me for the week, then ended the relationship on Thursday and brought back all my shit to my place and gave me my truck back. She said she needed space and can't do it anymore because I'm lazy and can't help her when she needed it. Has been nothing but tear me down. And when I try and talk to her to tell her how I feel, she just says I'm guilt tripping her and says she feels guilty about things and resents me. Then said she can't take me back right now and just needs some space. Proceeded to hide her location on everything, saying I don't need to know what she's doing or where she's at. Then everything we had account-wise just leaves it. So I love her and care about her a lot, but honestly, I don't know exactly what I did wrong to make her so mad at me. Honestly, I don't know what to do. I need help. I think that this relationship just sounds complicated, that just accept that it's over and move on.
Okay.
A lot of details we didn't need in there, and a lot of the details that we do need weren't.
Trying to tell you, just saying that I did take care of stuff. I did a lot for her and it still wasn't enough for her. That's what he's trying to say.
Right, so just
honestly,
wash your hands and get out of it.
I'm not trying to sound like a dick, but don't waste your time.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if I don't understand what she's doing out till 2 in the morning first, but before the wake. So I don't get it. And you're not a fucking errand boy to run around and take all family members and all this stuff and everything. So I got to tell you, you need to move on because in relationships, there's going to be a lot of adversity, a lot of life experience that are going to be bad for both spouses in their individual part and also in the relationship. And it's the first time if she's experienced something that is, for all we know, it's probably a death of like a second relative aunt. It's probably not of like some club, but some people have to make it about themselves.
Yes.
So to me, I would say
that tanked my last relationship tanked because of a death.
Correct, but it wasn't. You know what I'm trying to say?
No, but the death is like it.
It's an excuse.
It amplifies other things.
Correct. So my point is, if she's handling this and blaming you and then you can't do enough, it's not. And she wants to break up. Dude, move on.
Obviously move on.
Just move on. And I'm telling you, be much better off. Life's too short. You need a team player, not someone who's going to give you this bullshit and fucking mind fuck.
If she's going to make you, if someone's making your life more complicated, get rid of them.
Life's too short.
Yeah.
You don't need toxicity in your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So that's an easy one.
I'm sorry you're going through this, but you're much better off in the long run.
Yeah. Here's another one that we can do real quick.
And then we got to wrap
this from Taylor. Hey, Jon and Bron. My name's Taylor, and I've been in a relationship with a guy that I met on Tinder for the last 5 months. He grew up in Bakersfield, California, and we grew up 2 completely different ways. I was always told that I had to go to college, get good grades, have a job, and never do anything bad. I'd never gone to a party or drank alcohol until I went to college. On the other hand, my boyfriend grew up with parents that didn't go to college and didn't care if he did. Not saying that you have to go to college to be successful, she gave. His parents would let him party and drink in high school and kind of do whatever he wanted. His parents...
What, they live in a trailer?
I know plenty of parents that lived in multi-million-dollar mansions and let their kids do whatever they wanted.
Not
and drink.
saying not going to college, not doing it, but I agree with you. I hear you going.
That doesn't have to.
Yeah, I'm teasing.
His parents did discipline him from time to time, but he didn't have the structure that I did.
Drink more, little Bobby.
Growing up, I was always the angel child, never got into trouble, got good grades, went to college. My boyfriend became a boat mechanic and was involved with some sketchy people. Fast forward to a couple of years ago, he has now moved to Texas, has a great job, and has completely changed his life. He's no longer involved with the sketchy people he was with. He is focused on building a good future for himself.
Okay.
Because we came from such different upbringings, do you think that it will be a problem in the future when we have kids? Should I be concerned he might go back to his old ways? How much do I need to look into his past if he has showed me over and over again that he's not who he used to be?
Okay.
Interesting.
Are they living together?
I would assume so. Because she said it's been a couple of years and they're talking about having kids. So I would assume they're living together.
Very simple answer. You want to hear my answer?
Yeah. No, I don't.
Oh my God. If he's bettered his life, he treats you nice, he's working hard, he ended up being a good guy. I think once he has children, he's going to love his children even more. It's going to make him become better. And if he's done nothing to show you anything negative, whatever it is, you stay with him, you live your life, and you love him, and that's it.
Yeah, if
people can better themselves.
Of course. And if he's showing you, and just because of one parent, like you parent very differently than your parents parented.
Right. And I bet you that he's going to realize when he has kids that the way he was
how
raised
bad his parents
was
were.
fucked up, and he's going to make sure not to do that. I say stay with him if he's treating you nicely and
if he's never shown, if you know him better than anyone at this point, right? If he's never shown you that bad past,
and can he grow as a person? But he seems like he's doing great.
I know a lot of people who come from bad pasts who are amazing adults.
That's right. I think I'm happy for you and him. I think it's a normal thing you're questioning. But if he's better in his life and does a good job and loves you and supports you, and once you have kids, I think he's gonna be good to those kids. You have a nice relationship. Sounds like you have a nice, healthy relationship.
Yeah.
And we can't change who we are from our past. We can just learn and grow from them.
Which sounds like he has.
And that's a good person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That makes him even better.
100%.
Because you know that he's capable of change, capable of betterment,
and
capable of understanding
himself.
Yeah.
Isn't that what you want? Don't you want to better yourself? I mean, shouldn't Taylor want to?
Yeah.
All right, so that's good. But
that actually sounds like a good guy.
Yeah.
Because he can't help his upbringing, but the fact that he's changed it and made a good life as an adult
now,
in his own life when he had the choices, he made it better. That sounds correct.
And without his parents' influence, I think it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good. So
good luck. Yeah.
Keep us posted on that one.
Yeah.
All right, we're out. We'll see you guys next time while we're in Europe together. Love you, Bron.
Love you too.
You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.